Hello, everyone. I'm Sign1News anchor, Gatry Killings. Here's a quick look at the top trending stories making headlines today. If you post an interesting comment about this update, we may add it at the bottom of the screen. Go ahead and grab your popcorn and soda. For the next few minutes, we're about to give you the full look at what happened on the Creed 3 red carpet premiere in Atlanta last week. Not only did Michael B. Jordan return as the lead character, Adonis Creed, this was his directorial debut. This film digs deeper into the private life of the main characters and creates a bigger storyline around Creed and his deaf daughter, played by talented young actress Mila Davis Kent. And Sign1News anchor Martha Anger was there for it all. So sit back and check this out. Everybody who was anybody was at the Creed 3 premiere in Atlanta, including Sign1News anchor Martha Anger.
What's the best?
You a coward, bro, and a fraud. Try spending half your life in a cell, watching somebody else live your life.
I had to draw the line.
I'm just getting started, little brother.
I had to draw the line between my brothers and my enemies.
I'm coming for it all.
Creed 3 brings back Michael B. Jordan as the lead character Adonis. It's also his directorial debut.
And did you get a chance to enjoy any of this ATL flavor while you've been in Atlanta?
Not as much as I wanted to, but I got some stuff for the plane. So DBA Smoked Wings is one of my favorites, and a spot called Poppy's. It's like a Cuban spot out here that I eat a lot of when I'm here.
Yes. Good.
Tessa Thompson is back as Creed's wife Bianca, and there are two new faces in this sequel. Actor Jonathan Majors as Creed's old friend and new nemesis, Dame Anderson.
I'm curious about working with Michael B. Jordan. Him as a director, be honest, how was it? I'm sorry. Working with Michael B. Jordan. You saw it. Wonderful.
And making her feature film debut, 9-year-old deaf actress Mila Davis Kent as Creed's daughter, Amara.
But I wanted to ask you, this is your first feature film. So, can you tell me what your favorite thing is, what you enjoyed the most, and what's been most challenging for you?
Okay, well, first of all, I would say the most enjoyable thing would have to be, I mean, I've had so many moments that are enjoyable, but probably my favorite would have to be Mike. And this one scene, he had to dress up like a frog, and I got to dress up like a princess, and we had a chance to eat ice cream and to have a fake make-believe tea party. That was a lot of fun for me in that scene. Now, the most challenging would have to be acting. There was one scene when I had to be emotional and cry, and that was challenging.
Yes, I'm sure it was a lot of emotion involved for your character.
I felt that this movie was not just about boxing. I felt it was more about kind of how dealing with your past trauma and your emotions. Can you share something about that?
Well, I want to speak to that. I could really tell that this showed Adonis's past. And there were reasons why he got into boxing, and then of course, you know, Damien was a part of that. And so I know that it is about fighting, but sometimes, you know, fighting can be chaotic, but at the same time, it does show a lot of emotions too. It's not just about the physical, but also the mental trauma that he went through. And that was clearly shown in this film. I thought it was really well done to show that in.
Girl is so talented, you don't understand. This is why she's perfect for this role and this opportunity. And she hit it right on the head. You know, that childhood trauma, sometimes you have to look inward and look back at your past in order to move forward and become the best version of yourself. And that was manifested in brother, you know, Jonathan and Damien's character.
And I'm deaf, and so I caught some things that the audience might not catch.
like you use the clear floor in the apartment, the blinking lights when somebody came to the door. There was an interpreter. Actually, I saw them on the.
We felt it was really important to think about the deaf community. We wanted to have access like the blinking lights because that's something that we use on a daily basis, right? So we wanted to think about the deaf community and make it very authentic and real. And that made me super proud to be part of this film because they really showed their care for the deaf community in our culture and really valued Amara as a character. They wanted to make sure that she had access and that they learned American Sign Language just solely for their daughter. So that was amazing to see in this film.
My experience of stepping into the house as Dame, you know, when I saw that, I was like, oh my goodness, it moved, it really did make everything so cohesive. You know, I learned so much more about this beautiful girl, my past friend, what he had done, and then just on set. I mean, the way we worked on set was also a big education. And I felt myself, I think everybody else, grow as individuals and as citizens and as storytellers. So, I mean, thank you, Michael, for making that happen, and thank you for applying your talents.
My last question. Okay, be honest with me here. Speaking of Mila, I was just wondering, I was just kind of looking at, you know, the next Creed movie. I saw some stuff. You know, could she be the next fighter? Just asking.
I hope so, guys. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. That would be perfect. It could be a generational thing, right? A legacy. And that would really make people excited. It's like a dad and daughter, right? Hashtag girl dad, that relationship, and then I could be the next one. So let's see if it happens.
Michael, yeah?
I mean, hey, listen, I think, you know.
I think you have to say yes.
Exactly.
Boxing is traditionally fathers and sons. But, you know, Apollo Creed, you know, Adonis's father, was modeled after Muhammad Ali. And Muhammad Ali had Layla Ali. So there's a lot of similarities there, you know. And obviously I can't confirm or, you know, go down one road on this. But the Creed verse, you know, with these interesting characters that I'm trying to build and establish, is giving me room to tell stories on a lot of different platforms in a lot of different ways. So just, you know, Amara's not going anywhere, you know, I'll say that. And Damien isn't either.
Yeah, I had to draw the line between my brothers and my enemies. My brothers and my enemies. My brothers and my enemies.
You out there boxing. I need you to start fighting.
Yay! That is so awesome. I felt so proud to see Martha interviewing them. It gave me goosebumps. And that amazingly talented young deaf actress. We have the same sign name. It's kind of weird. I am so thrilled. So Creed 3 opens in theaters on Friday, March 3rd. Are you going to go see it? Let us know. Two Ohio men, missing for decades, have now been identified thanks to modern technology. Authorities say this facial reconstruction bust led to the identification of Theodore Long. In August, Ohio's Bureau of Criminal Investigation released the facial rendering. They said it belonged to a black male who was between the ages of 30 and 44. The release of the image led to the identification of Theodore Long, whose 1981 missing persons case had gone cold. Then another technology called genetic genealogy helped to identify Robert Sanders, who went missing in 1987. Both cases are still under investigation. Authorities in Kentucky say a very brave and honest child helped them find a wanted fugitive. Whitley County Sheriff's deputies were serving a warrant at a residence for this woman. She is a fugitive named Tina Hicks. None of the adults in the home would say if Hicks was inside the house. That's when deputies say a toddler, we don't know his age, stood up, put his hands on his hips, and told everything. The child then told them, "It is good to be honest. We should not lie. She's inside the room next to the bathroom." And that's when deputies found Hicks hiding. They took her into custody and served her with multiple warrants, including charges of meth and drug paraphernalia possession. That child is a smart boy. Cleanup crews in East Palestine, Ohio, are working to remove all of the contaminated soil and liquid from the train derailment that spilled toxic chemicals 3 weeks ago. Federal teams are going door to door, conducting health surveys. Over a dozen wells are being drained around the site of the spill to track where chemicals in the underground water may be moving. Hundreds of air tests in homes and air monitors in town show no signs of contamination. City and private wells are being continually tested also. And so far, no sign of contamination. Soil and water left over from the toxic derailment are now being shipped to 2 EPA-approved facilities in Ohio. The solid waste from the train derailment will be incinerated at an approved company in East Liverpool, Ohio, which is about 20 miles south of East Palestine. First Lady Jill Biden is on a 5-day trip to Namibia and Kenya. And of course, the world is waiting to find out if President Joe Biden will run for re-election. The First Lady did not hesitate when asked if there was any chance her husband would not run in 2024. She said it is his decision, and she will support whatever he wants to do. But if he does run, she's all for it. President Biden is 80 years old. Critics have pointed to his age as a factor in a re-election bid. But the First Lady says his trip to Ukraine showed he still has the energy for another campaign and another 4 years in office. Tesla owner Elon Musk is once again the richest man in the world. After the stock markets closed on Monday, Bloomberg reports Musk is worth $187.1 billion. He is a couple of $1 billion ahead of Frenchman Bernard Arnault, the CEO of LVMH. Musk might be the richest person right now. But if you remember, he also holds the record for losing the biggest fortune in history. He was worth $340 billion in November 2021, and within a year, he lost $200 billion. Financial analysts say Musk buying Twitter and a drop in Tesla stock hurt his wallet. But Tesla is rebounding in sales, and thusly, so is Musk's money. Have you ever enjoyed a video game so much you hated to stop playing it so you could sleep? Well, one game company has found a way to let you do both: play games and sleep. Pokémon Sleep is the game that starts when you go to bed at night. It tracks and analyzes your sleep. And Pokemon that sleep the way you do, dozing, snoozing, or slumbering, gather around Snorlax. The more you play, the more rare Pokemon sleep styles you'll discover. The Pokemon Company has announced the game is due out this summer. That is so cool. Sign1News will be broadcasting updates Monday through Friday. A big thank you to our Sign1News app supporters. You help make this broadcast happen. You can download the Sign1News app by heading to the App Store or Google Play Store on your smartphone. And you can also watch on Apple TV, Amazon, and Roku. Have a great day.